Hey, what's up everybody? It's Luke and you're watching Luke the Gathering. Thanks for joining me for another video. It's another draft recap, in-person draft recap. And it's also 4th of July weekend, so I'm in the spirit. I went to watch fireworks on Friday, and so in fact, the store said, hey, go watch fireworks. We're not going to have Friday Night Magic. It got moved to Saturday afternoon, and today is Saturday. And so I just got back from draft, and it was a ton of fun, as usual. We're still in Final Fantasy, and for maybe the first time ever, you know, I did go 3-0 a few weeks ago, and I went 3-0 again this week, which is incredible. I've never done that. I played some really tough opponents, and opponents that beat me on the regular for sure, but somehow I got the better of them today, and I was really stoked about that. So, that was really cool. I ended up getting a deck that I built that I don't usually do. It's a Sultai deck, so black, green, and blue. But I got past a card, pack 1, pick 2, that really just said, okay, I gotta go into that. So the drafter who was passing me the pack, they had 2 rares that they sort of had to think about, and then they passed me the rare, and it was in those 3 colors, so maybe you can guess what it was. I just had to take it and build around that because it was that good. And so it turned out to be quite a good pick, and it did well, and the other cards around it, they did well as well. So I'm not going to waste any more time. We're going to go ahead and check out the deck that I built. You can let me know what you thought about it. So let's turn the camera around right now. Alright, before we go into the cards, I actually am going to show this. This is a pin that I got. It's a Chocobo pin, and I guess Wizards did the thing where you can do these Chocobo races at the card store, and if you get up to a certain ranking, you get a pin. The first thing you got was a poster. It's a little mini poster, pretty cool. But this is really cool. It's a pin from the Final Fantasy set, so I was able to pick that up. And also for my 3 wins, I got 3 Aether Drift packs, which will open at the very end of the video. So for now, let's go ahead and see what we were able to pull. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more there. And this was what we have. First of all, we have Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum. So we're starting off with our removal. Now, I didn't have any like dual lands. I saw a lot of dual lands I wanted. They kind of went by me. That I really didn't want them, but I was never able to get them, so all my lands were basic, so just keep that in mind as you watch this video. But I know I needed removal. Sometimes these aren't the best removal, because if they have a card like Vane's Treachery where they can just sacrifice something to gain value off of it or make it better, these aren't the best. But sometimes when they do work, they work really well, because the creatures don't go into the graveyard, so like any kind of recursion doesn't work, and they can't attack, and so sometimes they just get forgotten about on the battlefield, and so that's a nice one. Ice Magic is great as well. This can bounce things back to hands or into the deck, depending on what you want to pay for it. Again, removal, that works really well at instant speed. Chocobo Kick, another great removal spell. You can deal your creature's power, or even double the power to your opponent's creature to destroy it. Unfortunately, this is just at sorcery speed. We just talked about Vane's Treachery, and in fact, this is something I did do. It secured me a win. One of my best creatures was tapped down by my opponent's Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum, and I had Vane's Treachery, and I was able to sack them and destroy one of their really important creatures. Without that, of course, I would have lost. So that was cool. Sephiroth's Intervention. This is, without saying, this is just a great removal spell. You also gain some life off of it at instant speed. So because I had all basic lands and I was like kind of afraid of my color fixing, I drafted a lot of cards that would help me fix my mana the way I wanted it to. I'm going to maybe zoom out a little bit more. There we go. And so this is a cool one. Newfound Adventure. It's actually Farseek. Costs 1 and a green. And you can get anything but Anything basic but green. And it ramps you because it goes right onto the battlefield. So that's cool. I played the world map in the deck. For some reason, I thought this was even better. Like, this put the cards onto the battlefield. No, they go right into your hand. So you gotta... It costs 1. You can also tap 1. Tap this, sack it to get a land into your hand. Or you can pay 2 to get a town. I didn't have any towns, so I was always just paying 1. But not the best, but I mean, I think it works for fixing. Town Greeter is a great fixer. I was a little bit hesitant. I have 2 of these, and I know these are great cards, but I only played 1 because I actually don't have any graveyard recursion too much besides one of my bomb cards. And so maybe I could have used the other one in there, but I thought 1 was good enough since I have a lot of mana fixing. So Reach the Horizon, yet another fixer. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to cast this spell, but this would have been really helpful to get the 3 colors out that I need. Preach's Wanderings is so awesome. This is a combat trick and a spell that gets land onto your battlefield. That is so great. I just think this is one of the best cards out there. And it leaves a +1/+1 counter on the creature as well. So throwing this on, for example, at Demon Wall, which you'll see later, you know, it actually turns that card on. It can attack without the defender, you know, stipulation. Or I actually drafted 2 Sahagins. They didn't go in the deck. Neither of them did because it wasn't that type of deck. But it would have been great for them as well. Torgal. Love Torgal. Torgal is awesome. 2-drop. Mana Dork. And also Human Helper. I don't have tons of humans in here. But, you know, sometimes it did make a difference. And I really did use Torgal mostly as a Mana Dork, providing me the mana that I needed. Ignis, again, more mana fixing, mana helping. Look at the top 6, you know, get a land, and I believe, yeah, it goes right onto the battlefield tap, so that's great. Undercity Dire-Rat is actually a favorite of mine. I really like this little 2-drop because when it dies, it does give you that treasure, and so you can sack it to Vane's Treachery, or you can chump block with it, and you get the treasure out, which is really important for a deck like mine, which really wants to get the mana up as soon as possible. Speaking of which, wow, this card was crazy. Titan. Titan is a rare, and it's just great. I mean, it's 7/7 with Trample and Reach. It's a really scary card. They have to get rid of it, otherwise they're going to be in a world of hurt. It also helps you to get lands onto the battlefield. Just a bomby card. Really great card. Jill, this is the card that got stuck in the Summoner's Sanctum. Really cool card as well. This will actually bounce out a permanent. You can do your own, but you can do your opponent's to their hand, which is really good. So if you bounce a token, it disappears. You can bounce a big creature that costs a lot of mana, which is something that I did with this card. And when you flip it, it makes something unblockable. And actually, I won the game with that game text as well, because I made Titan unblockable, and they went in for the 7 damage that it needed to win the game. I've come up a lot on Lock Cole. I think Lock Cole's really good. 2/3 Death Toucher. I hate seeing Lock Cole on the other side of the battlefield, and he's felt great when he's on my team. So Lock Cole has been great. 2/3 Death Toucher, and if it hits, you can draw a card and discard a card. Really useful card. I also love Bard's Bow. I think this is a great equipment. I love that it makes your guys your tokens, hero tokens, a 3/3. It just brings it over all the little weaker creatures. Plus it gives reach, which is something that's really necessary oftentimes. The only thing I think that is a little troubling with this card, but I guess, I mean, it had to be this way. Otherwise it'd be too good. Its equip cost is 6, so once it comes off, you know, a hero, unless you have a weapons vendor, which obviously this deck doesn't, you know, 6 mana to re-equip it is really pricey. I will tell you, I did pay the extra to do that today. Another card I like a lot, Ahriman. Not a big deal, 2/2 flyer that has Death Touch, so, you know, it's good protection there, and also with being flying, like with Titan, if it gets the Titan 3rd stage boost of X+X, where all the X's are how many lands you have, with Trample, then this becomes really hard to beat. Here's the Demon Wall. Demon Wall did a lot for me today. Great card. Cloud of Darkness. This actually did way less than I thought it would do today. A lot of times when I was milling, and this was what was annoying, I milled a lot of instants, sorceries, non-permanent. So the most I was able to, you know, take off of somebody was 2 from this card. The X value was 2, so I could destroy something that had, you know, mana value of 2 or toughness of 2. I was a bit sad about this. This underwhelmed me just a bit in my deck. Magic Dampener. This, I think, is a really surprising card. People don't really see this card that often, but it's a great protection spell, which there are cards that I want to protect in this deck. Plus, you can surprise people by untapping something and giving it a +1/+1 counter. There's a lot that you can do with Magic Dampener, which, you know, it's a card that you're like, oh, do I need to take it? It's just kind of like good, but it's maybe not great. I think it's pretty great. I think it, especially if you need to protect something, it's really great. And here's the card I really need to protect. It's Sin. Wow, 7-drop. I was able to play Sin quite often and bring things back. Wow, what a card. 7/7 flyer. Very hard to stop. Very hard to beat card. This was my pack 1, pick 2. The guy didn't want Sin, well, probably because of the mana cost, and I understand that. It would be, you know, tough to maybe really want to pick this if there was something else with easier mana cost. And my second Sin is here, the full art version, which is incredible. I think, like, I got 2 Sins in the deck. That is nuts. So if one died, and there was a point where I did have both in my hand at the same time. So really great card. Hard to beat. Yeah, really hard to beat. So let's go ahead and open up our Aether Drift packs. Let's zoom out just a little bit. See what we get in Aether Drift. We got a Ride's End, which is of course always nice. I like that card, Ride's End, a lot. Wretched Doll was a fun card in that set. And we got the Salvation Engine. It's a mythic vehicle. And Stock Up in foil. That's a really great draw card. And in foil. So that actually might have a little bit of worth to it. I haven't checked up the price on Stock Up in a little while, but I know people really high on that card, or at least they were high on the card. And then we've got the Regal Imperial Sword. I forget what... Oh, this is the Dinosaur Lord. It gives other dinosaurs you control +1/+1. The Matrix, Swamp, and an art card. Okay, here's our final Aether Drift pack. Again, these were my prize packs. So we had pack per win. I had 3 wins, so I got 3 packs for my troubles. And in this pack, we got Full Throttle. Not too psyched about that card. Oh, and we got a Mendicant Core Guidelight. So a dual rare pack. The Mendicant Core a little bit cooler. Camera Launcher, fun card. And a Treasure Token with a Thopter on the back. Well, there you have it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have fun playing Magic, and I will see you next time.